Hello everyone, it's SK95. Welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Last time, we managed to complete another bit of Heart to Hearts. We did a Heart Mania, basically. And this time, we were trying to do the next Affinity mission. However, outright speaking, that mission is a lie when it comes to its levels. The level it says that you're recommended to go for is 37. However, there's enemies in the area that are around level 48 and higher. So, you're not going to be able to do that. However, I might as well show off a trick. For those who have actually checked the time to look for it, I recommend going to the channel known as Enno, who has the ability to understand this trick and what's not. First and foremost, you want to have access to a skill and get the extra skill of the Amadeus ST, and then you want to get the Phoenix attack weapon when you get Sakurai Industries at max. Or rather up to level 3. This allows you to actually get the actual attack weapon itself. Then after that, get 2 shields that will allow you to increase your range attack and range accuracy. Next, after that, make sure your augment slots for the skull itself, for its skull weapons on the Phoenix, is given the augment slot of the Insectoid at least that level or higher. This will boost the damage outright, and it will be really good. If you want to make this even easier for you, get more Meridium and increase an extra slot so that way you can actually do more damage. I'm going to be showing off this trick for those who are after level Chapter 6. For those who are before Chapter 6 and basically skip past it, everything, you're going to have to go for something else entirely in order to actually get more class experience, because frankly, I'm sick and tired of being stuck on this class, and this class is just sucking as general. And the weight of getting this class all the way to a certain point is intolerable for me. So I'm going to make this far easier. We're going to be showing off a trick that allows us to basically min-max our class experience. That way we have maximum class experience we need. What you need is this skill plus getting all the way back in this location of 318. 318 is the location you want to head to for the pro placement site. There's going to be level 50-something enemies. However, damage scaling levels don't matter. So what you have to do is instead go down this way through the East Arbor Ravine. Just skip past every other enemy that you don't care about. And then head to the small pool over here. Deactivate your drive mode, and then you see there's a level 55 Grimoire over here. What you want to do is start with the battle off of Shield Cloak and Shield Cloak.
Start big. Move in and land a hit.
And then activate this Phoenix Wings. This boosts your amount of range. And, ooh, I got it up the second time. If you get Cop Hit time, it guarantees you wiping out multiple. As you see, I've boosted my level all the way up. Yeah, that was incredibly stupid. I min-maxed my level and didn't need to worry about level experience. Yeah, that is incredibly stupid, isn't it? It gets that stupid damage-wise, and the more levels you get for these guys, the stronger your attacks get. Of course, there's always a caveat about it. We're likely going to die after this, but I'm not exactly too concerned by it, given the fact that we've pretty much outpaced the entirety of these enemies entirely in terms of damage. Although, to be fair, they're really loud. What are you doing over here? Why is Lao all the way over there? Whatever. Looks like the AI likes to be funny. Whatever. And now I'm paralyzed. Okay. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? I min-maxed my class experience, bringing myself up to max, and bringing everyone else up to a certain level to actually allow them to use it. For those who are curious about how to get that other ability for the increase your class rank and experience far faster for other classes, Irina's a good choice, and you want to have access to Brain Jack plus the effect of Servant Sacrifice. Having both allows you to outright kill your enemies that are higher level than you. However, it scales based on level. If you do not have your level either higher enough, or if you don't have a way to increase your control strength, then you're not going to be able to do this Brain Jack Servant Sacrifice combo in order to deal more damage, as well as knock out an enemy that you really want to knock out. Thankfully for my sanity, we do, so we're not exactly too concerned by it. Alright, that's all I wanted to do. So, the other skill, Irina also has a skill that allows her to gain access to other skills, and believe me, you're gonna really enjoy doing this because it really helps out a lot when you want to get actual min-max skills. Honestly, this maxed out the skill. King's Decree, the other character that has the same skill, is known as Hope. So if you have her, you can actually do this far faster because Hope takes it at less levels. So the control skill allows you to decrease the enemy's control resist and increases that debuff tier by 1, which is pretty good. Now, with that done, I can actually upgrade my class levels. Now, you want to do this strategy if you want to min-max your class levels and class experience. For example, let's say you want to go after other classes and you want to min-max them out and not worry about having to grind them. You can do that and get away with it. Because unlike Xenoblade Chronicles Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U, you're not limited based on your weapons in that game. So, we're good. My Wing Viper, and I have to reorganize my equipment slots because, unfortunately, I have to reset my gear. Alright, reset my gear. Now, there's another thing I wanted to make note of. As you know fully well, my gear is garbage right now. I'm kind of stuck about the best gear I can possibly do right now because, frankly, level 30 gear has always been a pain in the neck for me, and believe me, that sucks. Now, you also want to do the strategy for those who are trying to beat Chapter 9, but Chapter 9 is actually pretty tough. There is a way to get level 30 gear. Now, this also depends on your ranking for the gear itself, as well as your AM. So, if you have an area maxed out, talking about industries especially, go find Foxiums. Foxiums are actually the easiest to take down. However, you're going to be fighting one at a time, so just try to keep an eye on what you're fighting. Not only that, it's technically going to be easier as soon as we get that enemy taken care of, and the Foxiums are right here. Lake Foxians, for especially, can actually be a very good target for this.
Start big. Move in and land a hit.
I'm not too concerned by my ranking on the skills, and frankly, I didn't boost myself up yet. So there's that. However, the Foxium becomes easier if you earn your skill, because that way you can stun it. And get a lot of fuel, because you don't want to waste your Meridium on fuel. You want to waste it on actual things you need to get. And done. Alright, the head's almost broken, which is actually something you want to get. And then now the Horn. The Horn is actually the weak point for the Foxium. So let's go and smack the back so we can hit the Horn. There we go. And now it's toppled. Does this boost your battle points? Not so much. Honestly, the strategy does not boost your battle points. It does, however, get you blitzing through levels, and you don't need to worry about the level difference. Boom.
Keep shooting.
Alright, poison gas, blah, 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 blah. And the tail is almost broken, so... Ha! Now, there are other Floxiums in the map. One of the better spots to find the Floxiums that you want to go for is in the desert. The Floxiums over here are more close together and less spread out. So you can go after these guys if you want to, and honestly, it's a pretty easy way to do so. So there's that. However, these guys are protection-based, so be careful about your range of where they are. Alright, I activated battle by accident because I was in the wrong gear. Wings! These guys are classified as insects, so you can actually take them down regularly. The Worn Valor series are also level 32, so if you want gear that are around your level before you do the strategy, I would recommend going for it. It's actually pretty vital to do. The enemies that you want for ground gear, especially from Sakura Industries that are the highest rank, are from a certain enemy type known as the Slugolofs. They are basically giant walking big guys, like, let's say, that guy over there. He's level 33, so he's actually around your level range to actually take down. However, he's aggressive towards you while you're in your skull. Be careful. He also has little guys around him, but it's not much of a concern when you're basically want to take care of him. It's still the same strategy applies. You can still do the same strategy on him, and it gets away with it. So let's go and smack him. Next, wings! There we go. Level up for Doug, which I wanted. Now, the Slugoff do actually give level 12 gear, but that's from the Norgal enemy. Slugoff is what you really want to go after it. However, there are other ones on the map that you can go for, but in my personal experience, they're a pain in the neck to go for. There is easier enemies around level 30 gear that you can go after, though. If you don't want to waste your time going after a giant tyrant, there is level 30 enemies. And they do drop gear. However, the gear they drop is whatever industry is random. For example, let's head back to the Iron Bridge, because the bridge itself is actually what you want to go for next. I'm only going after the gear that we need to go after because we have to, not because I want to. And believe me, my gear is very outdated, so we want to go after this immediately. There is an insectoid nearby, though. These Grexes around level 30 are actually lawless Grexes. They're actually pretty easy to take down. Not only that, you can actually get away with hitting them all with this attack of Phoenix, because it's really good. The Valor series is actually one you want to go for because they're level 30 gear and they're around level 32 at best. But if you really, really, really want gear that actually helps you in your level, these Blantas are around level 42 and they can be taken down quickly with the combo you usually do. Deploy your shields and then follow it up with Phoenix Wings. See? Very easy.
Let's move.
Oh, shield finally. Sadly, though, they're all level 40 gear, so don't bother. Treasure Sensor is what you want to go for. However, Treasure Sensor also is unwieldy at best. Your best odds are going for the Treasure Sensor X, that way you can actually get more augments for it. However, since you're not going to be using your skill for this, I do recommend this for those who want to get better gear. So let's go get some actual gear from this so we can actually get this done. Now, we're going after the enemies that actually have it, or you can actually go away with it by just using online rewards and using your division reward tickets and combo to keep going and getting a bunch of gear. Now, what you're required to get the amount-wise is still shown 2, 4, 4, 4. So therefore, if I go for at least 12, I can get 3 of them. If I go for 16, I can get 4 of them. Material Market's the easiest way to get away with it, so you don't really need to bother with it. As you see, yeah, my gear is very much outdated. This is why I need to go for new gear, because outright speaking, it sucks. It really does how my gear is very outdated. This does still count while you're in your skill or not, so it doesn't really matter. But it's still good to have. Now, there are enemies that are on level 30s that can actually be a good idea. The Oblivia region usually has enemies around level 30s that are usually the best spot for it. I do recommend going after the prone when it comes down to that because they're on level 20s. However, you want to go 318 for the majority of the enemies that you can actually get from better gear. As you see, level 30-something enemies are around this location, and there are a lot of the actual ganglion around the area. You can go for them here. The Ruins on Sand Bank is around level 30, 23s, and whatnot. However, you can go after the Nickel Fescu if you really want to. I recommend going for this one because it's easier and it's also closer by. Hi, buddy. How's it going? As you see, the ranking I got was insanely high and it boosted the treasure sensor. This gave me level 50 gear, but I really don't need level 50. However, the gear that we got is level 23 something and level 27 something. So it's pretty good for gear if you want level 20 something stuff. However, I wanted to come here for the alien wreckage, nothing else. I will be doing the affinity mission still regardless of this, but I'm going after things we need to go after in order to prepare ourselves for the affinity mission because that mission, the level is a lie and we want to be careful when it comes to that enemy levels because, of course, we don't want to accidentally get ourselves killed. 311 is another placement site I recommend going for because you can actually boost the amount you need. Let's get this one out of the way. There we go. That missing link is out of the way, at least. Now we can finally get another chain link going. However, level 1 pro placement sites are pretty bad. Blatantly speaking, I hate level 1 pro placement sites. They're pretty bad anyway. So, what we have to do is a little bit more annoying. I don't know why I have a 4 placement site here, because now I wasted the gear. Let's just put the placement site over here. Oh, it's Reach's Pro. Never mind, I'm a dummy. So, with that out of the way, I can actually get new gear, and I can actually put more probes here. Let's go and put another probe here that we actually put away. The higher ranking it is, the more probably amount you can get, so pretty good. Unfortunately, we are still waiting for a certain thing in the game. We can't really get it yet, so we're kind of stuck about it. If you really want just basic level 30 gear and don't care about what AM that you have min-maxed at best, the best strategy that actually works is to go for enemies that are around level 30 gear around the actual Sylvium region. However, there's a caveat about it. As you know fully well, those blasted annoying pains in the neck. I do recommend being careful here because of that reasoning. Skip past them and go this way. Now ignore everything. Heil Meadow is okay, I guess, but not really too much of a concern. What you want to go for is getting close to this base over here. These guys are usually around level 40s, I believe, 30s, I believe. Yes, they are. The per gear are actually pretty good for going for skull gear. If you want to get skull gear from these guys, be my guest. I would recommend it. Let's go after this. Shield cloak, and shield cloak. Let's go. Phoenix wings. Well, that guy got stuck on their ceiling. Feather Sensor makes it so much easier when you want to get better gear, and man, it's so much better. Oh, back weapon. Finally, I got more back weapons. Okay. Phoenix Wings really just does a lot of damage, so it really doesn't matter what options you pick. This is basically the best area, in my opinion, to go for gear that you need. However, this is fuel heavy, so be careful. That's pretty much the only thing I can say about it. And there we go. We got another cylinder, which is another back weapon, which is actually pretty good. However, there's also a G-Buster, which affects stagger, and we got more missiles, which is actually pretty good for side weapons. Okay. The caveat of this area, though, is these guys. Those guys are basically Valkyr Zigs. They're annoying. Take care of them. That's pretty much the only thing I say.
No rest for the wicked.
No matter what, they will catch you no matter what. So let's go and activate our weapons and hit everything around us so we can actually get rid of them. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Really good gear. Got a lot of gear for that one. Level 33 gear for Elma is actually pretty good. We actually got ourselves another V-Knuckle for 50 gear, but what can you do? Oh boy, busted knife. Well, I haven't seen rifle. I haven't seen this in a while. Basically, the busted rifle is outright whatever gear that I don't have, or it's at not a high enough level for it. Yeah, it does suck getting that. Now, there is actually an item around here that you want to go for, so I'm actually going to go for it because it's pretty easy to get to. Go over here, and it landed on the healing container. Stop moving. There are Bennett, the One-Eye. These guys are tyrants, so be careful. They're level 46, so you will likely get taken down. Let's see if we can take this guy down at least for our skulls. Remember when I said levels were suggestions? Yes. These guys are painfully easy now. Level up, rank up, actually pretty good, and these guys are taken down, and ooh.
Don't forget about the rest. Take the fight to them.
As you see, I got a lot of gear for that, and believe me, this is actually pretty good. I don't have to worry about nonsense like that, and believe me, this is actually pretty good for me, so yeah. There's actually level 50 gear we want in the future. Ooh, we got better Phoenix gear. That's actually way better than what I had before. However, thermal damage is pretty much basic, what we need to get. 43 gear, whatever. I was mainly going for the alien container because the alien containers usually drop stuff. Battle points, something I really want. These guys are a joke. Let's see if I can take all of them out at once. Alright, we're finally done with the multiple gear I really wanted to get, and believe me, this is actually pretty good. And we got more Meridian, finally. Alright, with that done, I wanted to get this out of the way mainly because it's the great grinding spot for those who want skill gear and whatnot. Because, believe me, you're going to appreciate the skill gear that you're going to need more. 409 is actually a good placement site you want to get to. Alright, done with that. Alright, back in our skulls. Again. And again. And again. Alright, I wasted like 30 minutes doing all that nonsense just so we can actually show off how to do that. Pretty much the main thing I wanted to go by. Now, I'm going to set myself up ready for the fight ahead because mainly I need to. I haven't worn a sword like this in a while. Although it's weaker than my armor. This is heavy armor versus light gear, so got a reason why. Why is it always my right arm easier to find than my left arms? Eh. So I'm going to go ahead and grind up gear that we need to grab for the missions ahead. So I'm going to be right back. Another area that you can go to for level 30 or above gear is the Silent Mire. The reason I say this is because if you go into the cave again, you can actually find something. However, there's also an item here that we've missed. Let's go and get the alien wreckage and get this out of the way because I forgot about the alien wreckage here. The first time I came here, but I was mostly just trying to get past the area rather than care about anything else. Now, there's level 30 Tyrant here. Yes, you can actually fight that thing for it. However, you're better off in your skill to take care of it because it will take you down very quickly if you're not in it. Now, if you go inside here, if you recall correctly, there were a lot of Blantas here around level 30 areas. And that's actually pretty good because you can take down enemies that are around your level and they will actually give you the gear you need. So let's actually take care of these guys and actually get the gear we need. Alright, we're finally done with that. I can finally start getting things like ready for the next mission ahead. I'm going to unequip my skills for everyone except myself. And then I'm going to reorganize my party for the next Affinity mission, mainly because I want to. Let's get 3 characters into this. Let's go and have Nagi, Lao, and then that's it for now because there's 2 choices based on that Affinity mission. And I'm going to give them whoever the skills are for later. And I'll go and cut myself just so we don't have to worry about it. Now, these missions can either be incredibly easy or hard. So, whatever choice you pick. Blitzkrieg, Chapter 8. A Great Divide Affinity mission needs to be completed, and Frog and Fry both need to have 3 Hearts of Affinity. So, here we go.
I'm sure you can guess why I've asked you here. The ganglion are mobilizing at Bedrock Hold in Primordia. We think they're going to strike NLA. So we're not going to wait. Instead, a strike team will lead an attack and seize the fortress.
Sounds right up my alley.
I was hoping you'd say that, Fry. I'd like you to lead the strike team.
Sure thing, boss.
The rest of you will remain behind and guard New LA's perimeter.
What? We're not all going?
The city's defenses can't spare everyone. If more ganglion forces struck, New LA would crumble in hours.
Guess that's true.
I'll guard the city. Playing offense isn't my thing.
All right. Fogg here will head up the defensive effort. As a prospector, that makes more sense anyway. How about you? Which team will you join?
So, you have 2 options here. One is easier, the other one's harder. In my personal experience, going to Bedrock Hold of Fry is the easier option because you go there once and don't have to deal with a multitude of enemies. If you defend it with Fog, you start with a battle rush effect where it's basically a 3-minute battle rush like you did back when you first did Chapter 7. Kind of understandable, so it's not exactly too concerning, but regardless of that, or Chapter 8, excuse me, that is what I need to say outright. So, it depends on the situation, because I've done both, Fry is technically easier because you come back to enemies and don't have to worry about dealing a bedrock hold for too long. Either or, it just matters which one you want more affinity for. So let's go to bedrock hold to Fry.
Why ain't I surprised? Just follow me. I'll get you home safe. Or more likely, I'll follow while you do the heavy lifting. But at least I'll be watching your back.
I'll begin the briefing. Fry, you take the strike team and head for the hold. Take out as many of the assault forces they've assembled there as you can. With any luck, we can prevent this attack on New LA completely. Any questions?
There's more than just these new forces at the base, right? What do we do with the others?
Your only targets are the ones planning to hit the city. You can ignore the rest.
Roger that.
Any other questions? Okay, Fog, I'll explain your role in a second. Good luck, strike team. Dismissed.
A large-scale military maneuver is about to begin. Together with Fry, you'll be launching an assault on Primordia's bedrock hold.
Hey, hold up. You've gone on missions with Fog before, right? How was he?
He's unique.
I see. He seems cold. Like he can't be bothered to defend his own flesh and blood. He's always off in his own little world. Creeps me out. I never have any clue what he's thinking.
Well, let's hear him out.
He's always been the genius type. Pulls off ridiculous stuff like it's nothing. But I can't accept him. I can't love someone who doesn't value his own father's life. Sorry. Anyway, back to the mission. Jobs like this, I just want to get them done and hit the diner. You know, kick back a cold one. Or 20.
Now we have Fry in the party, and Fog is not available during this mission. Let's get ourselves some skills equipped because, frankly, those things are going to be annoying. Alright, all set up. Now I can actually go out my way to go to the location. We need to head to 103 first. Once we head to 103, get out of there and head to the bridge over this way. You can go either or, but I recommend going either or. Just go to the way we need to get to. Now, one of the big things when you get there is the fact that enemies there are going to be at the high level range. So level 40 something, which is why I boosted my levels. Mainly because the enemy level range is ridiculously stupid and I don't like it. It's because of that guy. That's ugly. Pain in the neck. Flush woes are basically the big thing and I did not like about this level and I don't like about this area. For whatever reason, they decided to spawn them in, and I do not like them. So what we have to do is go around the long way, jump up, and then avoid as many fighting as you possibly can until you reach the enemies. Hello. Alright, go and focus on the enemy, and then focus taking them down.
Come on, look at that! One after another.
You'll likely get killed because of stupid enemies. Dang it. Okay. You focus on what you need to focus on, game. Come on. Darn it.
Give him hell. You.
Okay, thank goodness.
Targets eliminated. That's a wrap, folks. Yeah, that was way easier than I thought. All this talk of a massive ganglion force had me pumped, but This was nothing. Guess I'll just burn through my leftover energy at the diner. You ready to party?
Party!
That's what I like to hear. What? The perimeter's broken. The ganglion are surging towards New LA? Damn it. We gotta go. You better be in one piece, Fog.
I am so glad I can't admit this much, but I'm so glad I died. Because at least I don't have to worry about the enemies. Now, you don't have to be in your skill for this. I wouldn't recommend it, but at the same time, I kinda wish I did more damage. I think I got a green art now, so which means I can actually finally take care of the things I want to take care of. Oh, darn it, I don't. Why is the green arts always outside my range? Why? I will never understand. I never will. Alright, that's something I wanted to get, and I guess that's the best I can do. I also think my skills are naked. Yep. No wonder I was doing less damage. All that work only to do less damage because I didn't have the skills equipped. Whoops. Alright, let's head where we're supposed to go. We don't even need our skills for this. However, I recommend being careful. That's the main thing I would say outright. But, as you painfully can see, Fog is surrounded by all wreckage. Fog! Fog! You okay, buddy?
Fog! You okay?
Fry? I'll live. We held them till the 12th wave. Then it all fell apart.
It's amazing you made it that long.
We had to. This is our home.
We'll take care of this. You just hang on.
Right.
You ready? We're not letting this city fall.
Let's go. The reverse happens instead. So if you pick the other option, it's the reverse. That's it. I am more annoyed. That's just keep smashing enemies repeatedly, because this is the best I can got. Woohoo! Last ring up, finally got primer. I was wondering when I was going to get primer, but man, I needed it. Let's wait on the timer, but now I have primer, which is actually pretty good. However, I can't equip it because I have way too many arts. Great. Thanks, game. Thanks a lot. Well, I guess I'm waiting. Again. Go in our skulls, at least. Make this a lot easier. So, yeah, as you painfully are aware, Frog and Fry still have a bad relationship, only because Fry doesn't believe Frog really cared about his dad. Their dad at all, so that's the main thing. Thankfully, though, that's not exactly the case, so we're going to be mostly just understanding how their relationship is going. Waiting is intolerable, isn't it? It usually is an interval of every 30 minutes, or at least every 30 seconds at best, so there's that. Wrecker! I'ma punch somebody in the face. Let's go do this next. Ha! Finally. Did a lot of damage already, and it's already dealing a lot of hits. Best we got. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Break unnecessary. Unnecessary game. Unnecessary. There we go. Almost dead. There we go. Next is the Assault Rider. Again. That's it. There we go.
I'm on the right team.
And we should be done for now because there's no more enemies after this. Because, frankly, they're not much of a threat. And we cannot leave and escape. Let me go, please, I beg of you. Okay, whatever. So, last time I said I'd be doing more heart-to-hearts, and I'm likely going to be doing more heart-to-hearts? Surprise. Does not matter, he's pretty much going to vanish in like 2 seconds.
Take this. Stream edge. Bam. Keep shooting.
Finally, Nuggy has 2 hearts of affinity.
I think we're through the worst of it. Hang in there, Fog. Help's coming.
Thank you, both of you. I'm really glad to see you safe.
Man, Fog, I'm sorry. I really had you wrong these last few years.
I was a little surprised you came running here.
Hey, your blood. Only damn family I got left. You keep family safe, whatever it takes. Same as you did for New LA.
Fry, can I tell you something?
Anything. After we get you checked out.
No, I want to say this now. Dad said an old man like him had no place taking some kid's spot on the whale. He sacrificed himself so others could live.
Yeah, of course he did. Goddamn old fool. I never stopped to think of it like that. Never thought about how dying can sometimes save someone else. In my head, saving lives was all about fighting on the front lines.
Sounds like you.
More like you, at least today. Dad would have fought for the city too. He'd be a heap of bruises like you are. I thought you were cold, but you've got Dad's fire. Maybe more than me, even. I'm sorry I didn't see that, bro.
Fry, Look, please don't apologize. I just want things to be like they were.
Then what do you say we hit the diner for a few after-work rounds?
Perfect. I could tip back a gallon of milk right about now.
Which is still gross, by the way. You're coming too, right?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
We've got years of history to catch up on. Let's party till dawn.
I'd like you there, actually. Once Fry gets spun up, he starts rambling. I could use a translator.
Hey, watch it, buddy.
Their relationship is finally fixed, and now Fog and Fry are reconciled when drinking. Dual Sword Art Crisis Zone, and the Gatling Gun Art Twin Bullet Twister. And not only that, after this mission, both Fry and Fog can now be part of the same team from now on. Pretty good, right? That's actually one of the better things we got, and believe me, it's great. And now with that done, actually we have 2 hearts of affinity with Lao. I'm gonna go and get 1 heart-to-heart done after this episode, and then we're gonna end this off. Mainly because I need to. So, by going into the, what was it called again? Outfitter's test hangar, we can actually go ahead and go inside the Outfitter's test hangar to go all the way to the middle and reach, well, an area where there's Lao talking to somebody else. But you need to have Lao out of the party for this, and it also needs to be a certain time of day, like last time. So, let's check the time of day, and we'll be able to get this. I think it was the afternoon. Nighttime. Yep, night. Alright, nighttime. So, we can actually talk to Lao and see what he has. Hey, Crick. I was just trying to draw some combat skills into Shingo. We Pathfinders might not be a combat-first kind of outfit, but it's not like the Ganglion and the Indigents just leave us alone. And when we do run into trouble, I'd like him to be able to defend himself relying on Sadian and Mondo all the time. Shingo's a pretty fast learner, he just lacks experience. How would you train him if he was one of yours? Let's say he needs to be even stronger, so strict! Great minds think alike, eh? The way I see it, if he runs into an enemy outside the city, I won't be able to hold his hand through the fight. So I gotta drill everything into him until there's blech. So I've gotta drill everything I learned out there into him before something happens to one of us. And there's a lot to learn, not just the stuff I figured out here on Mira, but lessons back on Earth as well. All I ask him is to be able to survive whatever crazy thing happens next. Ultimately, if me and Sadian go down, I want to know that Shingo is still able to go on without us. Anyway, sorry I got a little carried away there. I should go, though. I gotta run Shingo through a skill training session. See you around. Heart to Heart 2, Training Troubles, has been done. Now, with that one done, now, technically speaking, we have access to a lot more affinity missions because we've reached our higher levels, and I usually don't blitz the levels when I do playthroughs of this game, but I didn't have much of a choice, mainly because we had to get our levels up. So, I think we're going to end this off right here for now. Next time on Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, a certain Manon that we remember correctly over here is seen to be having some problems. Let's go help him out. See you all next time.